Hello everyone. I hope you can hear me over this rushing water. I am behind the Manhattan City water treatment plant in Kansas, getting ready to go fishing. And here I've been catching some pretty decent ones, and last few fish picks I loaded came from this hole. Caught 2 white bass that were around 20 inches long, which is pretty nice, and there's some shad jumping in there now, which could be a good sign. But white bass really like rushing water. Came out yesterday, I caught a few, nothing real big. Caught some nice sized crappie out of here. Some bluegill, some green sunfish. I think a smallmouth bass, but I got it out of the water. I went to grab it, it flopped and went back down in the drink. So I'm not 100% sure what it was, but it is what it is. So anyways, before I get fishing, I would like to show you my new fishing reel. Now ain't she purty? It's a Pflueger President XT, 10 bolt bearings, carbon fiber handle, cork knob, and the gears on the inside are aircraft aluminum. I can't remember exactly what the frame is made out of, but it's a really light reel. I like it. It's smooth. I can reel it slow and it won't pause and stick up and make this weird grinding sound like that Shimano I had. I still have it. I have a Ugly Stik Ultralight. I'll get back to that here shortly anyways, and one of my favorite lures, all type anyways, my hand tied. This is all done with, most of it's pheasant tail and a little bit of black marabou and a tungsten bead head, and it's on a Eagle Claw Aberdeen hook. Think 1/0. And this line, it is a newer line. I think about 5 years they came out with it, maybe 5 years ago or so, give or take. It's Berkley Nanofill 6-pound test, and it's a crystal color, which is just white. I was hoping that they had the high vis green. It's kind of a chartreuse green color, but the place I ordered it didn't have it, and nowhere here in town keeps it in stock. So if I want this line again, I'll have to order it. I like it. I can get a lot further cast with it, which is cool. So I guess we'll get back to my ultralight Ugly Stik. I've got a story I want to tell you about it. It happened, I'm going to say 6-7 years ago. My friend Danny and I, we were out fishing at the river pond area at Tuttle Creek, which is right below the dam. And I had my custom-made fishing rod with me, which is a bait caster. It's a Gator blanket. It has an Abu Garcia 7000 C3, and I also had my Ugly Stik Tiger Light with me, which is another bait cast, another Aubrey Garcia. We had some live bluegill, some shad. Sitting there trying to fish. We weren't getting any bites for a long time. Then my friend Danny, he reels up his line to reposition, and he catches about a 8-pound channel cat. I'm like, cool. I knew what I needed to do from there, and well, my catfish rods I couldn't put a float on because I didn't have a big enough float with me. So what I did is I tied a 5/0 Gamakatsu octopus circle hook on my ultralight and a little crappie bobber and put a little hunk of shad on it. I was thinking, well, I might catch a 5-6 pounder, nothing big. I threw it out there. About a couple minutes later, the bobber jets underwater, not ground. Or I guess underground if you want to call it that, I don't care. But it jets. I go to set the hook, which I just lift the rod and start reeling with a circle hook because you don't actually want to set it because you'll yank the hook out of the fish's mouth. So lift the rod, and then my drag starts just peeling out for about, I want to say close to 10 minutes. I finally get this fish turned around. I reel him in a little bit, and he makes another run for it, not quite as long as the first one. I get him turned around again. Then he makes another run for it, and it was about as long as the first one. And then I'm sitting there fighting him. I get him turned around again. I get him to the boat. Then the fish decides to make a fourth run for it. He goes underneath the boat. I'm reeling. I get him close, and my friend is all ready, and we look down and we notice that he managed to wrap himself around the rope to the boat anchor, and I had 6-pound fire line on, and boat anchor rope is quite a bit bigger than that. So I'm kind of surprised he didn't break the line when he wrapped himself around and made another run for it. I didn't, and I get him up close, and I'm like, well, I don't know what to do because I can't really maneuver him to get a good grip on him. So I'm like, well, quick thinking. I hand my friend Danny my rod. I'm like, okay, hold on to this, keep tension on it until I tell you to flip the bail. And he's like, alright. So I hand him the reel, rod and reel, reach down with both hands inside the fish's mouth, grip as hard as I can. I'm like, okay, you can flip the bail. He flips the bail, I pull it up into the boat, and we get a few pictures of it. It's on Facebook. And I take the hook out of his mouth. I didn't have my scales on me, so this fish I ended up keeping. And we weighed his fish, we weighed my fish. Mine turned out to be around 16 pounds on my scale. I think it was maybe just a hair under, but it was a spring scale and it was a $9, $10 scale, so it's, you know, not a very expensive one. But I think it was, for the most part, accurate enough just for my curiosity. And that fish became dinner, but it was a hell of a fight, and it was real fun. And that would probably be one of my favorite fishing moments that I've ever had. I think probably a really good feat to catch a 16-pound channel off a 6-pound test with an ultralight rod and reel. So anyways, I've been talking long enough. I want to go out and catch some fish. And so wish me luck, and if I catch anything big, I'll take pictures of it, and it'll be on my Facebook page, which is Sean Catfish Wilson. So y'alls take care. I hope you enjoy my video. Please like, please subscribe, leave a comment. Also let me know that one fishing video I did made. If you do like that style, I'll make more. So leave a yes or no to that. And I'll talk at y'all later. Take care.